Good morning. We have woken up in a place called Ravensdale, which is just on the border between the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. This great forest car park. It was empty when we arrived last night. This is mainly dog walkers and mountain bikers. It's a Sunday morning. So yeah, within 5 minutes we will cross the border and we'll be back into Northern Ireland. But for now we've got a problem. So last night I drove over quite a small speed bump, quite gentle speed bump in fairness, but we heard this almighty sort of noise, this sort of kind of noise, and then about 10 minutes later I heard a clatter on the road. So wait, I'll show you this. This is what I found on the road. Part of the spring, about 3/4 of a turn. So I think it's off the passenger wheel. I've had a good look about with the torch. I'm struggling to see. I've had a good feel around. But it seems to be sitting in there okay at the moment. So what I did, I've driven probably, well, this happened south of Dublin, so driven about maybe 100 kilometres, so what's that, really about 60 miles, 70 miles on this. I just took my time, just like kept it about 50 miles an hour. We're heading to Belfast to catch a ferry back to Scotland, so I've got maybe another hour to Belfast and then another couple of hours back to home. I'm just sort of going, hope it's going to nurse okay and we don't end up in the back of a recovery truck. Fingers crossed. And we can get it home and we can get this fixed. But first, we need to get to McDonald's because I've not had my breakfast. So I just had a wee look underneath there with the torch, and sure enough that is definitely our spring that I've picked up off the road in Dublin. It's got the same breakage and it's the bottom side of it, so put this back down just now. We'll go off to the motor factors and pick up new spring. So Amy's been off to the motor factors and picked up two coil springs, because you should always replace them in pairs. So quickly I'll show you what we're going to do here. First job is I need to randomly strip out the bottom half of the glove box, because that's the access to the top mount, not under the bonnet as you would expect and where it is in most cars. So I'll strip the glove box out, then we need to get the jack under the van, get the wheel off and start stripping it from the outside. So let's make a start. Okay, so I think that was one, two, three, four, five, six screws. So maybe one there, 1, 2, 3 in there, one at the bottom there, one at the top there, 3 at the bottom there, and one in at the side there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gets that off out your way. Once that's out your way, you've got access in here. Try and see if you can see this. So it looks like a cover there. Try and get my hand out of the way. So that's your top mount, and behind all that. Okay, so the next job, I need to chock the wheels at the back. I need to jack the van up, get axle stands under it, get the front passenger wheel off, because that's the one I'm doing first. And then we need to start stripping out the McPherson strut. I'm not a mechanic, so this is at your own risk. Copy me or don't copy me. Don't blame me if this all goes wrong. First thing you want to do is remove the brake pipe from the carrier, remove the cables that are into this bracket, and the ABS cable that's in the bracket there. Then after that, this bolt here needs to come off, just to come off the wishbone, and then round here, this nut here needs to come off. When that comes off, that will loosen the McPherson strut from the wheel, and removing that will just give you a bit of space to move. And then there's a spring, and it's broken in there somewhere. So for this, it's a 16mm socket you need to get into the bolts for the top mount. Now, it's a bit awkward to get into, so I've just got an extension bar here. And hopefully that will do the job. You know what, wasn't it that tight? I'm going to just get that ratchet in me. I think I can maybe get it with this. Okay, so I've removed the 3 bolts. I'll get a bit of light in here. So that's the top mount removed. And this side. Then down here, you can see it from the inside that it's disconnected. So the next job I need to try and do is remove the McPherson strut from the wheel. Now I want to try and do that ideally without taking the brakes off and the ball joint off if I can avoid it. I just want to try and open this up at the back. Maybe go and grab a cold chisel, try and chop it open a little bit, and then see if I can slide that out. I'm just going to try and split this using the chisel a wee bit at the back. There's all the ducts in my eyes. I've lost the chisel, honestly. Yeah, I've lost the torch. Oh, this goes well, doesn't it? See, when it's not getting filmed for YouTube, it goes easier. I've literally got all the dust blowing in my eyes. Can't see what I'm doing. It's Saturday afternoon. Right, schoolboy error. I took out the 3 bolts from the top mount first. But what then happened is I didn't have enough clearance to get it back up, and the weight just kept hanging down. So I refitted one of the top mount bolts just to hold the weight of this strut up for me. And then I just I got this pinch bar, and I just basically pushed down, and that was that. And along with gentle tap on that, you need to watch because that's cast, I think. So just gently tapped it down, a wee bit of WD-40 around it, and it came out. So that's out. I just need to undo that top bolt again, and I've managed to keep it all without taking the bottom ball joint off and all that. So right, I'll undo this bolt now anyway. So that is what's going to happen here. Death by spring. So I put the spring clamps on it and clamped it. You can actually see where that one's broken on the bottom. So now that's off, I just need to take the spring clamps off this, compress that spring and put it back together. So I'm quite happy, the shock's okay, it looks a bit dirty. I was going to change it if it was damaged, but if I press down on it, it is actually releasing quite well. There's no oil leaking out it, just a bit of corrosion, so I'll just leave that for now and rebuild it. That bit is the bottom part of the spring. That seems to fit there. Then we worked out that's the old spring. So that sits, that's the same way as that. So that's the top. So that's the top. And then the wee tail part sits round there into that wee corner. That looks alright. So far so good. I'll give that a wee clean before I put it on. Take two. Put on the right rest time. Right. It's just that's fouling that, but we should get it on hopefully. And then, is that all the other bits? Just that straight on. On top of the top mount there's these little studs and there's the 3 bolts. Now when you go into the van, one of these needs to line up. I'll show you. So up here, up at the top, oh sorry, 2 of them need to line up, should I say. You can see the 3 holes for the bolts to come through, and you can see the 2 places for the stud, and that gets you the correct position. And then once we'll bolt it up first at the top, and I'll try and slide it back into here. Okay, so that's it all back together. I just need to refit the wheel and put the glove box back together again. So quite happy with that. Just make sure all the brake lines are back in place and the ABS cables are tidy there, and then that's it. All refitted, so quite happy with that. Wasn't too bad a job actually. So still need to put the dash back, and it looks worse than it is really. And then I'll just double check those 3 bolts are nice and snug before I put this back together again. And then tied up the tools, will be good. When I restarted the van last night to move it out the driveway, I heard like a noise. It must have been the spring settling, and all of a sudden a warning light came on the dash, a wee triangle, and it said FPS on the display on the dashboard, and the engine cut off and the hazard lights came on. I was like, weird. So I YouTubed it. Turns out it's a fuel cut-off switch. They're saying if you've got a broken spring or go over a bump too hard, it'll activate. It's never happened to us. We've owned this van since 2016, so you know, nearly 10 years, 9 years, whatever. So it happened yesterday. It must have just been the spring settling once I took it off the jack. So I'll show you where that is in case you need to reset it, because it's dead easy. Just in the passenger footwell on a right hand drive model. I'll try to show you with the torch here. Right at the back there, that's a button, and if it's tripped, it's in the up position. You just press it in with your finger and reset it. Okay, so that's the passenger side spring completed. I have bought a spring for the driver's side, but I'm not going to do it today or just now, well, because it's Scotland and it's torrential rain outside for one. But we're also going on a trip tomorrow, so we're just trying to clean the van, pack the van and get ready to go away. The driver's side one isn't broken, but it'll be the same age as the other one, so I will change it when I get back from this trip. The driver's side I think might be a bit more tricky because the fuse box needs to come out, and I have read that there is some sort of special screws to get the fuse box out. So I will investigate and I'll maybe show you that bit at some point in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and we're going to get ready for our next trip. Catch you in the next video. Cheers.